Were you right? Is San Francisco State University?
Yeah.
That's so funny. Wow, look at you.
I didn't think San Francisco was a state. For color me wrong.
What's up, everybody? We're Side After Dark out of Brooklyn, New York. Your new favorite band. I'm Dan Berg.
I'm Sifa Graffiti.
Check out our music.
Swear! Swear!
And check us out reacting to Wade in the Water, sung by the San Francisco State University Chamber Singers. All right, this was a Patreon poll suggestion. Shout out to all of our patrons for voting on this. We appreciate you. If y'all don't know, all of our reactions are chosen by our patrons on Patreon. So if you want to get in on our content and content decisions, go over there and check it out. Make sure you thumbs up if you like this video. It's always crazy to me being able to do shit like this with this many voices. Mm-hmm. And just being able to, like, have everybody have their part. You know what I mean? And then, like, the people, the soloists in the front, it's like, how can you cut through all the other voices like that? Like, it's so crazy to me.
It's something about the energy of the people when they're singing that makes you float up to the top as, like, the soloist. It's like the lead guitar. It's the same thing, but just with your voice. Like, the drums and the bass and the stuff fire you up to, like, get out there in the front and then lead the crowd as a soloist. It's something about the energy. I took choir in college, and it's something. And then when everybody's singing at the same time, it makes you sing better. Like you want to be part of it. You're like the flock. You just become part of that whole thing. Song's got a lot of history, a lot of American history. So Wade in the Water was a song sung by slaves, and it's an old Negro spiritual, and it was sung by slaves because the way slaves used to communicate with each other would be through the music, because you wouldn't want to say out loud, wade in the water so that your scent gets thrown off so the slave catchers don't get you. So you just make a song about that, and that's why wade in the water was important, because the slaves would the dogs would be running after them, and the dogs would pick up their scent, so they would have to wash off in the water as they're traveling so that the dogs wouldn't pick up their scent at all. I love the way they sang this. Nothing beats hearing the people from, and you know, I definitely didn't hear slaves actually singing it, but nothing beats the people that are still kind of connected to back then. So like, let's say when I was a little child, people that were probably in their 50s, 60s, 70s, they were most likely the generation right after slavery abolition. Because like my mom's grandfather was born 1898. They're not American, they're Caribbean. They came here in the 60s, but he was born in 1898. And died when my mom was a teenager. And she remembers him very well, just like how we would remember our grandparents.
Right.
So when you think of that, like my mom is still alive, very vibrant. When you think of her grandfather being born in 1898,
right.
You feel like it's not
There's not that
long
much
ago.
in between.
Not much time, you know what I'm saying? So to hear voices from like the 30s, the 50s, and 60s, they definitely still have a connection more spiritually to those slave times, and they sound just like the people, so you can hear the resonance, if that's a word, resonance.
It is now. Oh damn.
The resonance.
I like resonation
in the voice, like you know, and I love that, and I love that people are continuing the tradition of American history by singing these songs. So that's pretty dope.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was so well done, and I just in my head, just like the organizing of all these people and all these voices and having it all together, it's like there's so many puzzle pieces, there's so many things to fit together, you know what I mean, that when it comes together like that, and you know what, they would have the swell, like, you know, one part would be saying this, and then one part would be, and then they would come together and it would kind of swell and like drop in and drop out. It's just like, it's very powerful.
Yeah.
Like I imagine like being in that building or that room while they're doing it, I'm sure you could feel the vibrations. Feel the vibration.
Come on.
So yeah, that's what I was thinking about the whole time. Just the power of all the voices together, and then just like I know we just talked about it, but it's like it's so crazy how you can still have whatever. I don't know how many people this is, 30 people, and then you just have one person that's singing right through all those other voices. It's just so crazy to me. And I believe Moses Hogan was the one that arranged this. I think that's why he's in the title there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So shout out to Moses. Moses and
all
water.
All the Moseses.
I was going to say Moses and water. There's usually a connection there.
But not to Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Yeah, so shout out to everybody that was involved with this. Shout out to everyone that voted on this on Patreon for the Patreon poll. Shout out to everyone watching on YouTube. We appreciate you as well. We're S.A.D After Dark, and we'll see you next time.